Legend of Total War here, and today we're raiding what I'm going to call a lesser doomstack. So using a tier 1 unit spam of 14 rangers, he's got these heroes here basically just as supportive roles that are just giving, they've got a trait that's basically boosting these units to give them abnormal stats. So very high melee attack and melee defense for a tier 1 unit. They've got 20% physical resistance, 30% missile resistance, some fire resistance and spell resistance. Now of course this is nothing compared to what the Savage Orc Biggins can do. Do we also have a Diamond? Yeah, we've got the Diamond Guardian Phoenix, so they're actually going to have 30%. Nothing compared to what the Savage Orc Biggins were like, but this isn't supposed to be able to compete with that kind of Doomstack. This is supposed to be a Doomstack for people who want to build not an invincible Doomstack using lower tier units. We're going up against a team. They're bringing just almost two full stacks against us. And in this battle here, because it's an auto-resolve victory, I'm going to try to win this only using the rangers and not using the heroes at all. And I gotta admit, I think they're going to struggle a bit, because there's some pretty high tier units here. Anyway, let's jump in and see what we can do. So the advantages of a ranger-based Doomstack would be, it's pretty good against infantry, so this is something that you could think about bringing against the dwarves. Although they lack armor piercing, the anti-infantry will compensate for that a fair bit. Not something I would bring against factions that are bringing a lot of cavalry or large units, because anti-infantry will be lost on that. Their spell resistance isn't that high, so magic's a bit of a concern. Alright, so like I said, we're going to bring these back, not going to use them, and we're just going to use these. So what I want to do is try to charge into the forest and fight in there. That's going to make their missile units not fight as well. So yeah, this is by no means an army that you can just bring anywhere in the world and just win any battle. There's just no way this can triumph against certain enemies. Okay, look, if they're marching towards us, are they waiting for reinforcements? No, they're just coming straight for us. Alright, that's good. Oh, I might wait over here. Bring these over this way. I don't want them participating. So, one explanation that he had in the email was that he could put more of these heroes to make these guys stronger, obviously, and have fewer of them, but then it becomes a hero Doomstack, not a ranger Doomstack. Which, I agree with that point. You know, I don't think there's much point in putting like 2 units and then having the rest heroes and then just having those 2 units do the entire battle. Why not just use it? You've essentially just got a hero Doomstack at that point. Which, there's nothing wrong with that, but if all of the heroes are just boosting 2 units, it just doesn't make any sense. Just get a trait that instead boosts all of the heroes. It's actually better, because hero Doomstacks are always going to be better than unit-based Doomstacks, unless the units are like dragons. Alright, so I'm pretty determined to fight in the forest, so I want to try to get in over here. And those fireballs can be fairly painful. That'll also really protect us against evil bolt throws. Alright, if we have a look here, we've got, 30% physical resistance. So, essentially 60% missile resistance, as long as the attacks are physical. But since they're Sisters of Avalon there, they'll bypass that. And they'll bypass the physical resistance, at least. These guys here don't have Vanguard deployment, so I could just automatically teleport them over here. Yeah, that 15% spell resistance isn't great. It's better than nothing, but pretty much provided no protection against the fireball. Definitely a little bit of protection against direct damage spells like Milk Off. Good. Saw that the shots there hit the tree. That's what we want to be seeing. That's why we've moved into here. I think by the time I get there... Yeah, look at that. The reinforcements are almost here. Charge into those dragon princes so that they don't get a chance to charge at us. Good. See how these shots here hitting the trees. If you're going up against missile-heavy armies, or that's going up with a lot of anti-large, don't be afraid to find the trees. They're really, really useful. Okay, that didn't really do that much damage, so that's good. Let's see, there's not much we can do about that right now. Don't blow up too much. Yeah, back off. Okay, get in there now. Okay, we're a bit heavily blobbed up here, but I really want to try to penetrate this area. Go, no, you go over this way.
We away.
To battle. Acknowledged.
Yeah, this is definitely no Savage Orc Biggin Doomstack. Not even close. But, you know, they're not taking that much damage considering what we're going up against.
As you say.
But the other question here is, are we doing any damage? We can sit here and resist all we want. That's another thing about the
Shall be done.
Savage Orc Biggins. Massive damage output.
Loyal.
We're just not really killing quickly enough here.
It shall be done.
Because that's something that a melee infantry Doomstack really needs to consider. It needs to be either super resistant or really highly damage dealing. Because if you sit there just constantly grinding down on an enemy, their missile units will just use up the entire ammo on you, which isn't ideal. How's this one doing against this? Not that much.
We will obey. Ancestors.
Leadership is... it's alright.
For duty. For duty.
Okay, most of the missile units don't have good targets on us at the moment, but I also can't quite get in there. They outnumber us, so going wider than them is impossible. So charging at them with one big long line wouldn't have done a bloody thing in this battle.
Pull back. We are forsaken. It will be done.
Yeah, that one that pushed in there didn't really do very much. Unfortunately, the reinforcements came in and got on. We're pretty heavily blobbed over here, which... okay, I've got one left over this way. But yeah, a lot of the shots are just hitting trees. This is why I wanted to fight out here. Once all of their melee infantry have committed, we can maybe start pulling out some of our infantry and going around.
Loyal. Swiftly. Without fail.
This dragon... yeah, look, the dragon's not doing that much. Do a very high melee defense.
For duty.
If we have a look at the dragon princes, they've done a bit more than the dragons themselves.
As you say.
Acknowledge. Can I be...
I know some people are looking at this being, oh my god, he's blobbed up so much. Yeah, there's a reason for it. We're trying to get their forces blobbed up as well. They're not using any area of effect abilities on us. Most of these missile units aren't doing anything to us. Another thing is that if we go wide out here, the missile units will do way more damage to us. Alright, you're basically used up, so you just wait over there.
Acknowledged. Apace.
Now, if we push in a little bit, their missile units will actually hit their own units.
King and country. For Assyrian.
Okay, these dragons... yeah, they're really not doing that much. Balance of power seems to be improving a little bit.
Loyal. Orders received.
Honestly, the damage isn't too bad. I'd love to really get in there and hit those missile units, but if we have a look at how much damage they're actually doing, like 200 damage, 300 damage, they're just not a threat. It's just that a lot of people, they'll look at this and be like, oh my god, don't let yourself get shot! But they're not doing much. Most of the shots aren't hitting, and we've got loads of resistance against them. Even if we have a look at the Sisters of Avalon... no, that's not Sisters. Yeah, they're doing a bit, but you know, they're super high powered, and I did try to get at them, but... okay, if we pull through a little bit here, I think we do need to get at them now. Quite a few of them here. Don't worry about these ones here, just pull through. We're almost at the archers over here. Alright, let's bring this one back now and hit them in the rear.
Without fail. For all one.
The Phoenix Guard is doing a fair bit.
Loyal.
But, you know, thing to keep in mind is that this is a tier 1 unit. Not a tier 0 unit, just a tier 1. This ability here is not going to do anything for us. That seemed painful.
Orders received. Acknowledged.
That's it. Stop these missile units from shooting. This is fine over here. Maybe make one of these guys pull out and go around this way.
It will be done. For the king.
That's it. Disrupt these missile units as much as possible.
For all one.
As you say.
For duty.
Good. Sisters of Avalon in melee there. That's what we want to see.
Orders received.
Because in melee they have physical attack, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do. Okay, we're maybe a little bit blobbed up over here now. We've definitely won this little engagement. Pull our troops back. Look for units that are isolated. Try to take them out.
Assyrian.
Balance of power is improving.
Attack.
I got terrified. Okay, might rally.
The winds are
For duty.
It will be done.
This unit here is probably going to get wiped out. I'll pull it out before that happens.
Move.
Oh, there's cavalry there. You're not going to be able to escape that. Let's just try to focus on winning.
Will be done. Forward. Loyal.
It shall be done.
Good. Let's pin down that.
Order comes.
Without fail. It shall be done.
Now, obviously, if we used the heroes, this would have been a relatively easy battle to win, but we're here to test this out, to see just how strong this is. And honestly, it's kind of impressing me a little bit. This was not great. And they're possibly going to win. I mean, we'll pretty much lose them all.
Loyal.
But it's not a disaster battle. We're testing them out.
Orders
So it's
received.
fine if we lose them all.
Acknowledged.
That's a dead unit now. Win or lose, that one's gone.
Acknowledge.
Good. Or at least when we're spread out like that, the breath attacks can't do much to us. That's it. Keep the archers pinned down. Stop them from shooting. Especially if we're going to start coming out of the forest.
It will be done.
Good. Most of their missile units are gone. Okay, too many units over here. Let's move them around. Really want to start. Now that we've taken out quite a lot of their melee infantry and opened things up a little bit, we need to really pin down the missile units now.
Guides us. Following orders. As you say.
For duty.
If you can charge into the rear of this, that'd be good.
We will obey. It shall be done. For duty. To the fray.
That's it. Looks like we're actually winning.
Without fail.
Now, I think a big part of our auto-resolve power was definitely the heroes in this army. They're all very high level. Not using it would normally be very stupid.
Without fail. We will obey.
Yeah, just escort that one off the battlefield. We've got these ones here completely surrounded, which, considering we outnumber them, if you're outnumbered, you should really never get surrounded like this unless it's part of your plan. That has broken. Okay, just let them off the battlefield there.
Setting for.
Okay, I'm going to pull another unit out.
Move.
We've got to pin down these units. It looks like our guys over here have been torn to shreds, so we need some of our reserves to go over there.
It will be done.
It will be done.
Understood. Oriole.
We're definitely winning the battle now. It is also on very hard battle difficulty, so we are working with AI cheats. Obviously nowhere near as severe as what you get in Warhammer 2. Do I have any, like, reserves back here? No.
Acknowledged. To the fray. For duty.
But Legend, using the terrain to your advantage is cheese. You should always fight at disadvantageous terrain.
It will be done.
Yeah, keep going for those archers. Having a look at them. They've done a bit of damage. Nothing too severe. These ones out here are a little bit of a problem. Okay, we're in a little bit of a blob. And we've inflicted the army losses. We won. I think that's a relatively early army loss, but I'd be very surprised if we got a decisive victory. This is definitely a Pyrrhic. We lost a lot of troops. Close victory. Better than auto-resolve. Maybe. Well, no, auto-resolve probably wouldn't have nuked that unit. So, it actually managed to triumph without using the heroes. If we had used the heroes, we wouldn't have taken half the damage. Because, like, we could have pinned down key units with them. And used the magic to our advantage, for sure. And they all got pretty good kills, except for this one. This one, that was the one that pushed through and got wiped out. But they all got pretty good kills otherwise. Yeah, wiped out. Alright, so rating this. I gotta admit, when I first saw it, I was like, there's no way this is gonna be good. And you know what? It's not that good. But it was better than I expected. Which, that's got to give it some points. It is better than I expected. For a tier 1 unit, it's cheap. Let's see what the traits are. I'm pretty sure that the trait on the Handmaidens is resistant. It's the only one should be. I'm not sure what it is for the nobles. Because I just can't think of any noble traits that's good for rangers. Got to figure out what's causing the amount of value in the armor. Another thing to keep in mind is that they had a Diamond Guardian Phoenix. Those are rare to get because you're only going to get them through Invocation of All events. And you can only do that once every few turns. Oh my god. Whatever, it's not a disaster campaign. And would it not be better on a different army? That being said, items can be switched over instantly, so that's not a big deal. Look, I don't need to send a save file back. That's clearly an army you'd want to save, but I just want to have a look at the bloody army. Whatever, who cares? Right, that knocked him down to strength rank 4 from 1. Come on, hurry up. Just lost all your allies. He doesn't need the save file back. It's fine. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Alright, let's have a look at it.
High Elven Archmage.
Alright, also we were in camp stance. Let's have a look at this. So what's the trait firstly on the Archmage? Resistant. Yep, that made sense. I think that's the best one for an Archmage. Law of Light. Probably would have been good to pop down some buffs on them. For sure. Okay, so these ones here, obviously resistant as well. Yep. And the nobles have the Honed, which provides melee attack for Shadow Warriors, Shadow Walkers, Silver Helms, Spearmen, Silver and Guard range. Okay, so melee attack +5, melee defense +5. So that's for each of those. I'd actually go so far as to say as the noble is probably providing a bit more value than the handmaidens. It largely depends on what you value. That's resilient, not resistant. I think that may have been a mistake on his part there. I think he meant to put resistant in there. That's actually not providing any value to the army whatsoever. I was wondering why he had 4 resistant characters, but only 15% spell resistance. He's actually only got 3. So the spell resistance really wasn't that handy in this battle. It's not that important unless you get up to like 50%. Missile resistance is definitely useful, for sure. But the resistant characters are only providing an additional 15% in total. And the melee attack and melee defense buffs might be more useful because killing faster means that we could have pushed quicker in on the archers, which is very useful in that battle. The physical resistance. I think they've already got some physical resistance. Do you have anything else going on that's providing them with that extra bit? I don't think so. I'm actually not sure what the base physical resistance is on these units, so I'll just check. Unless there's I don't think there's a technology for them. Let me just check. So if we have a look here, the base physical resistance is 20%. Right, so the Diamond Guardian Phoenix is what's providing that. So primarily what's boost... Actually, let me have a look at the Lord's skills. So we've got over here, Militia Master. Yeah, for rangers there. Oh, you put a lot into the red line there. And then you've got... Which one is for the rangers? Oh, there they are. Okay, speed for rangers, weapon strength, missile resistance. Right, that's where the extra 15% came from. Okay, cool. Because like I said, I very rarely recruit these units. I don't have them imprinted into memory about where all their bonuses are. Okay. Alright. And Hukon provides no real advantage there apart from campaign movement range. Might you have been better to go with Isha for at least the reduced upkeep cost? That's the only thing I can think of there. Yeah, not a huge amount of stuff you can give to boost rangers, honestly. Okay, so in terms of rating this, let's look at a different army. It's relatively... Okay, if you have a look at that, it's not that much cheaper than a Sisters of Avalon spam. 305 compared to half the price on that. Did you go down the reduced upkeep loss? Yes, you did. Okay. Okay, in terms of efficiency, let's see. If we had a Sisters of Avalon army, we would have easily crushed that army. No problem whatsoever. That being said, I didn't use it to its full effect. It's pretty convenient to use. apart from the hero capacity that it's using up. However, the hero capacities, the heroes being used here are not providing like supreme amount of value. So if you really wanted to, you could definitely run this with a resistant archmage and maybe one handmaiden and one noble that's honed. I think that, especially this one here, I think that was a mistake. It's not needed to have this many heroes into it, so they're therefore not using as much capacity. That would make it more cost effective. It definitely would make it less powerful, but you got to weigh these things up. In terms of ease of use, not super easy. You've really got to choose your terrain with care, because you want to make sure that you're fighting to the enemy's disadvantage. These guys here have woodsmen, so they fight in the trees pretty well. If you don't fight in an area with trees, that could be a problem, especially if you're going up against monsters and archer-heavy armies. In terms of strength, I would not rate this particularly highly, even though it took on 2 full stacks there. It's a huge amount of effort that's been put in, and it was only 2 full stacks, and one of those armies didn't have any experience. And the AI wasn't exactly doing an amazing job. A lot of their archers were blobbed up, which is typical of what you can expect from the AI, especially with missile-heavy armies. The AI is brain dead in this game, in these sort of situations. So, in summary, I would say its cost effectiveness is moderately high, its ease of use is moderately low, and its strength is kind of just medium. Overall, this is a doomstack that I would build only if I really felt like building ranges. There are much better melee infantry in the high elf roster that you could go for that would not necessarily be cost effective, but that's not really an issue for the high elves. Even though they've had their economy nerfed since Warhammer 2, it's just not an issue for them to just put tons of money into their armies because they have access to that cash, even in a campaign that looks like it's about to go to shit because he's going to lose all of his trade partners. Well, he's still got a lot of trade partners, but he may lose them soon. They're going to cancel on him. Anyway, that's the end of this one here. So you have to make up your own mind about this doomstack. This is hardly a definitely must build. It's entirely up to you. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for sending this one in. It was good to look at it, and it definitely exceeded my expectations, which if nothing else is impressive. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.